Good afternoon all, Specky Bandit here and welcome to the channel. Are you ready for a brutal, intense challenge? Well, I certainly wasn't, but I tried one anyway. Today we are going to be tackling a Lightning Hawk only run for Resident Evil 2. Firstly, we're going to have to play on the second run campaign to allow us to get the Lightning Hawk before the first mandatory fight, meaning we are in for a tougher experience with more enemies. Secondly, it's going to take a while to even get a weapon, meaning the first section of the game is going to be all kinds of tough. Even with a gun in hand, it's not like we're going to be able to use it very often. The Lightning Hawk may be able to punch holes in a tank, but with 60 rounds at base for the entire run, we aren't going to have ammo to spare. Hell, this might not even be possible. Last up, the rules. Number 1, the Lightning Hawk is the only weapon we're allowed to use, excluding one mandatory exception. Number 2, hardcore difficulty unless we get to the point where the challenge is outright impossible. And finally, number 3, no sub-weapons. If we can't dodge an enemy, then we need to fight it or take our lumps. Okay, let's get into it.
Excellent!
In the first section of the game, we have one objective, and that is to survive. We need a weapon, and until we get it, we are going to have to be at the very top of our dodging game. Thankfully, we are, giving the zombies the runaround by baiting them and weaving around them. Dodging them isn't terribly difficult in most situations, but it requires complete concentration, and maintaining that concentration isn't always easy. This means we occasionally slip up, and the zombies do get to enjoy a Leon Kennedy cornucopia. In the east side of the building, we grab a few key items to allow us to explore further, before heading into the entrance hall. Unlike in the standard playthrough, this area is infested with the undead, so we will need to be very careful when traversing it, especially as we'll do so often. In the western hallway, we sneak past the liquor and then grab the C4 detonator. We dodge the zombies in the hallway, then make our way up the western staircase to the locker room to grab the ornate box. We need this to get the Lightning Hawk, so there's no way we're passing this one up. We head to the attic, navigating a few close calls along the way, and then down to the library to grab the red book. Back across on the east side, we acquire the red jewel that allows us to open the ornate box. Before we deal with that though, we beat a hasty retreat from a sudden liquor appearance, before getting ganged up on in the hall by two zombies.
Ouch, that hurts.
With the red jewel in hand, we open the ornate box to receive the STARS badge. We pick our way through the undead on the way back to the locker room, as they take chunks out of us of course. We stop the steam overflow and then head through to the STARS office to grab the detonator battery. And the Lightning Hawk of course. It might as well be a paperweight for all we can use it at this stage, but boy do I feel better about having it. And Leon certainly looks at least 12% cooler simply by holding it. Anyway, as we leave the office, Mr. X appears nice and early to increase the difficulty of this challenge that we were clearly missing up until this point. We cower in fear for a little bit, before making a break for the attic, while grabbing the unicorn medallion along the way. We pop the ceiling zombie to make sure we have an escape route, then set the C4 off to access the second medallion. Of course, Mr. X appears a little too early, so we run him around while in a state of absolute terror before going back for the medallion. With this in hand, we head back to the main hall, grab the lion medallion, and then sneak out of there before Mr. X catches us again. On the way to the G1 boss fight, we make a small detour to grab the long barrel for the Lightning Hawk. This significantly increases the gun's damage and will help our ammo go a hell of a lot further. We head into the G1 boss fight, having only fired one round at this point, with 16 rounds available, which is almost perfect. Unfortunately, this is the first moment where the run could end. If we don't have enough ammo here, then there's absolutely nothing we can do about it. To make this work, we need to make every bullet count. We need pinpoint accuracy, we need headshots, we need eye shots, and each of those shots needs to be fully focused for maximum damage. We need to dodge blows and conserve our dwindling healing supply. We need to be perfect. Or at least that's what I thought, before we took him down in record time, with loads of ammo remaining. Well, this gives me some hope for the rest of the run at least. In the garage, we witness a gruesome death at the hands of Mr. X. Grab the crank handle, turn the power back on, and make a break for it past some dogs back up to the RPD. In the break room hall, we clear the way with some skillful shooting.
Double kill.
Before using our fancy footwork to make our way up to the storage room. After grabbing the large cog, we ask Mr. X to politely move a helicopter out of our way. After evading him, we head over to grab the jack from the western storage room. Knowing that Mr. X will be hot on our heels, we'll wait for him to catch up with us so that we can get past him before fast walking our way down the western hallway away from the liquor and him. We make a break for the library and line up the bookcases, with zombies and Mr. X hot on their heels. We dodge into the clock tower and grab the electronic part. On the way back out, I start to panic, as there are 2 zombies in our way and they simply won't move. I try for another double kill headshot skill shot, and fail. Still, we duck past the one that is still standing and make our way back to the break room hall uneventfully. In the hall, we get chewed up a bit, but not enough to stop us from getting back to the garage. With practiced hands, we skillfully evade all the dogs and make our way back to the cell block. We grab the garage pass and then make our escape. We dance around Mr. X gracefully before running straight into a group of zombies. After escaping the RPD, making our way into the sewers, and decapitating a giant sewer alligator, we spend a brief stint as Ada. She is entirely defenceless, but we are used to that by now, so we mostly invade the encroaching zombies. I did say mostly, right? Anyway, we escape Mr. X, foil Annette's plans for dinner, and then wrap up this section. Back with Leon, we have a relatively simple time evading the sewer zombies and the G-mutant on the route to the safe room. Our plan at this point is to head back to the RPD to get the laser sight upgrade for the Lightning Hawk and grab the root plug along the way. We start by performing another stylish double kill.
Double kill.
Then we grab the sewer keys before fending off some unwanted advances. We bait them to one side, trudge through the sewers and then head upstairs. After a close call in the elevator, we head back up to the RPD and grab the laser sight upgrade. Anyway, we grab the root plug, get gnawed on a little bit, and then head off to grab the last couple of plugs. To say this did not go to plan would be an understatement. Eventually, after figuring out how to get ourselves beaten up in just the right way, we manage to make our way to the remaining plugs. We get them, and then panic murder a couple of zombies. There is absolutely no way I'm risking going through that section again. Thankfully, the trip back is smooth sailing, so on to the G2 boss fight. At first, the G2 boss fight seems fairly straightforward, with him taking a knee after only a few rounds. We slam him with the crane and then load a few more rounds into him before stopping to do some mental maths. There is no guarantee he will go down after only 2 crane strikes. The sheer number of bullets we would need to use to down him 3 times really isn't an attractive proposition. If we keep using ammo here, then there is no way we can finish this run, and that just isn't an option I want to consider at this stage. So we risk it and do something crazy. We stop firing and start relying upon leading them into the path of the crane. It's a huge risk. If we mistime it, it won't hit him, or even worse, it'll take us out. Somehow though, we nail this perfectly 2 times in a row, and we end this fight with hope still alive. In Nest, we dodge and weave our way through to the first access upgrade without any real bother, before heading over to the greenhouse area. This goes surprisingly smoothly, with us dodging the first ivy, filling up a container of herbicide, and then making our way down to power up the place without any hassle. A pair of lickers pounces out to tear us to pieces, but we simply ignore them and walk into the cooling lab. We chill the vial and then head on out. On the way back upstairs, we are forced to use a round on a stray ivy after many failed attempts at dodging it. There was another route we could have taken, but that would have meant missing out on the yellow gunpowder, which essentially translates to 6 rounds. We cannot afford to lose 6 rounds. I think 1 bullet's probably worth the cost. After dispensing the herbicide and grabbing the next access upgrade, we make a break for the exit, firing a few rounds into the ivies blocking our path. It's a shame to use the ammo, but it's not like we have much choice here. 1 grab and we would be gone. Over on the other side of Nest, we prepare for the G3 boss fight, aka Bullet Sponge McGee. We go into the fight with 30 rounds on us and 2 more available in the arena. This doesn't feel great. I'm sure we can take him down, but I'm not sure we can get through the rest of the game if we don't nail every shot. The fight itself isn't terribly difficult, as we have items to heal for a decent number of blows, but ammo conservation is at the forefront of my mind. We miss more than a few shots, but we do take him down, with 3 rounds remaining. There's no more ammo we can get at this stage, so I guess the question is, can we beat the game with only 3 rounds? I pushed on in desperation, but quickly found out that the answer is in fact no. I retry, and second attempt goes much more to plan, with us nailing practically every shot. That being said, the guy still has an unbelievable amount of health. We end the fight with 11 rounds, which is considerably better, but it's still not exactly ammo going spare at this point, is it? It's make or break time, I think. After a brief escape sequence, we are face to face with Mr. I can't take a hint and just bugger off. This fight is actually relatively straightforward, in that we simply have to survive until we are forced to use the rocket launcher. Admittedly, you could argue that this fails the challenge, as the rocket launcher is another weapon. I don't count this as a failure since the use of the rocket launcher is mandatory, but if you disagree, let me know in the comments below. Anyway, surviving this fight long enough to get the rocket launcher is easier said than done. Evading his regular attacks isn't a huge problem, but his insta-kill charge attack either needs to be blocked by a rock or deflected by a shot to the heart. He attempts this 3 times and we manage to get through using only 2 rounds before finishing him off. We bait the zombies at the bottom of the elevator before making a dash for the train. Damn, we do not have a lot of ammo left, that was a close one. But it's fine, we're practically done at this point, right? Oh, wait a second. I don't think that's true, is it? And then I remembered. And then the horror set in. This is the second run scenario. We are definitely not finished yet.
Jesus.
What was that?
I don't know. I'll go. You take care of Sherry.
Birkin tears the train apart in his final form and slowly destroys everything on his way towards gobbling us up. Every shot here could matter, so we wait until he moves towards us. The closer he is, the more damage we will do, so we need to wait until we can get the best bang for our buck. He gets closer and we hold. He gets even closer and we hold. We wait until we can metaphorically see the whites of his eyes and then we unload. And we unload again and again, ultimately timing this almost perfectly until he is rendered defenceless mere feet from tearing us to pieces. So we did it, and with 3 rounds to spare. Easy, right? I guess I really shouldn't have been panicking. We had plenty of ammo to spare. There was no real risk after all. Okay, actually, can I drop the tough guy act now? Jesus, Mary and Joseph, that was close, and I did not believe it could be done right up until the moment it was actually done. Why did I do this to myself? I mean, don't get me wrong, there were certainly a few places where we could have saved a couple of rounds earlier in the game, but I think that would have taken a better gamer than me, if I'm being honest. Hell, that was stressful, but it was also fun, I think. At least fun enough that I think I might have to come up with another challenge sometime soon. Next time, I think I'll tackle another Resident Evil game, but I'll leave which one and what challenge as a surprise for now. Feel free to let me know if you have any interesting challenges yourself, and perhaps I'll give them a go sometime down the road. In the meantime, if you need an intense challenge fix, why don't you check out the video linked on screen? That one is a real doozy. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.